Few cruise arrivals are as iconic as sailing into San Francisco under the Golden Gate Bridge. Today's video is one I've really been looking forward to. Our Discovery Princess cruise brings us into San Francisco, and the arrival couldn't be more iconic. We sail right under the Golden Gate Bridge with amazing views of the city, Alcatraz, Fisherman's Wharf, and the Bay Bridge along the way. Once we dock, we'll hop on a boat over to the infamous Alcatraz Island to explore its history up close. This is just part one of our first day in San Francisco, and we're overnighting there, so there's even more to come. We were up early this Monday morning because the captain had announced the night before that we'd be sailing under the Golden Gate Bridge just after 7 a.m., and we definitely didn't want to miss it. At this point, we were still out at sea, but land and the hills of San Francisco were already in sight. We even spotted a Holland America ship making its way in behind us. So, let's take in the views from our stateroom balcony as we sail toward the Golden Gate. Something we noticed just beyond the bridge as it came into view was a fog bank, the famous San Francisco fog, which the locals have even given a name, Carl. At first, we were a little worried it might block our views of the city as we entered the bay, but as you'll see, it lifted nicely just in time for our arrival. Looking beyond the bridge, we could already spot Alcatraz Island looming in the distance. As we drew closer, the city of San Francisco began to appear on the hillsides, a sight that was both impressive and a little surreal. And then came the highlight of the morning, sailing under the Golden Gate Bridge. From our balcony, we had an incredible vantage point as the ship glided past this iconic landmark, a truly unforgettable way to arrive in San Francisco. As it slowly became fully light, we continued sailing into the bay toward our berth at the port of San Francisco. From our balcony, we had beautiful views looking back at the Golden Gate Bridge, as well as the well-known hills of San Francisco coming closer into view as we drew nearer to the city. Soon we were sailing past the Marina District, with the steep streets of Pacific Heights rising up beyond it. Next came Fort Mason, now home to an arts complex, and Great Meadow Park, all set against the backdrop of San Francisco's downtown skyline, with its cluster of high-rise buildings looming just behind. As we got closer to our berth, Alcatraz was no longer visible from our side of the ship since our staterooms and balcony were on the starboard side. We were treated, though, to sweeping views of Fisherman's Wharf, even better views of downtown San Francisco, and the rise of Telegraph Hill with the Bay Bridge stretching out in the distance, along with Ghirardelli Square right along the waterfront. Looking back toward the Golden Gate Bridge in the distance, I caught a shot of the Holland America ship we had seen earlier. It was out at sea before, but now it was making its way into the bay as it was about to pass beneath the bridge. And then the arrival of a tugboat alongside our ship to help guide us into our dock signaled our arrival at Pier 27. As Discovery Princess maneuvered into its dock, we got a few more glimpses of Alcatraz. As the docking process wrapped up, an unidentified nearby bell rang, marking the time as 8 a.m. I grabbed a few more shots of the bay and the Bay Bridge as we tied up, then went back inside to get ready. Next stop was the International Cafe on board for some coffee and pastries to start the day before we disembarked for our Alcatraz excursion. After we finished eating and as 10 a.m. approached, we grabbed our excursion tickets and reported to the main theater just as the instructions on the ticket directed. At the door, we were assigned a group and given a sticker to wear identifying us as part of that group. Ours was Aqua 10. We sat down with the others and waited until our group was called. This excursion was split in two parts. The first was a ferry ride over to Alcatraz Island for a self-guided tour, followed by a return ferry ride back to the pier. The second part, which I'll cover in the next video, was a bus ride across the Golden Gate Bridge a stop at Vista Point, and then on to Sausalito for some free time before heading back to the ship. After a short wait, our group was called, and we made our way out of the theater toward the ship's gangway. From there, we walked through the empty San Francisco terminal building and eventually stepped outside to meet up with our tour guide.
Break the law, go to jail. Break jail's law, you get sent to Alcatraz. Okay, my name is Maggie. I'm going to be your tour guide today. Usually the first question is, what are we going to do? Well, Sausalito, you need to come back on the 1 o'clock ferry. I will be there at Pier 33, and we will be getting on a bus, going across the Golden Gate Bridge, going to Sausalito, and spending the afternoon in Sausalito. We will have you back here at this spot at 4:15 this afternoon. Do you have any questions? Yes, you can spend as much time as you like on Alcatraz, but if you are going on to Sausalito, you need to come back on the 1 o'clock ferry. No, to Pier 33.
Our tour guide, Maggie, led us on a short walk of just over a block to the very busy Alcatraz ferry terminal. Since the excursion included our ferry tickets, the process was simple. Even though the lines looked long, the ferry had plenty of capacity, and before long we were on board and ready to sail over to Alcatraz.
Of service vehicles. Our trained crew members will assist you with our life-saving equipment. Life jackets are located under all fixed seating.
As we pulled away from the dock, we had a clear view of the Holland America ship that was tied up right next to the ferry terminal. Soon after, we were on our way across the bay toward Alcatraz. Let's take in a few of the views as we make our way to the island.
I invite you to explore its multi-layered history. You'll walk in the footsteps of America's most dangerous criminals and the men who guarded them. Hear their voices and experience their daily. You'll be amazed at the island's natural beauty.
You have the comedy, right? Drama would be like, what's a good drama?
After arriving on the island, we paused for a brief orientation from a Park Service ranger before starting the long climb up the hill to the main prison building. The walk up is fairly significant as a climb, so it's definitely something to consider if you're not comfortable with steep or extended walking. For those with mobility issues, there is a free tram shuttle that runs up to the main blockhouse twice per hour on a first-come, first-served basis. Taking your time on the walk makes it much easier, and it also rewards you with some fantastic views of the Bay Area, downtown San Francisco, the Bay Bridge, and even across the water toward Sausalito. At the top of the hill is the entrance to the main cell block. The tour here is self-guided, with an audio device and headphones provided right as you enter. The route begins in the old shower area and then leads directly into the main cell block itself. It was eerily quiet as we moved through the cell block. Even though there was plenty of people around us, almost everyone was focused on the audio tour playing in their headphones, which made the whole experience feel even a little more immersive. At one point along the tour, there was an open cell where visitors could step inside and get a sense of what it was like from the prisoner's perspective. From there, an open doorway led out to the famous prison recreation yard with its sweeping views of the bay. Standing there, you could really appreciate how the surrounding water completely cut the island off from the city and the world beyond. We wrapped up our tour of the cell block, which included displays and photographs of some of the notorious criminals who had served time here at Alcatraz. And with that, we made our way back outside to continue exploring the island. From the main prison building, we walked past the ruins of the warden's residence and the island's lighthouse tower, both perched on high ground with incredible views of the bay, the city of San Francisco, and the Golden Gate Bridge. Being so exposed to the water, this part of the island was especially windy, but the views made it worth the stop. We made our way back down the hill, stopping for a few shots of the boat arrival area and some of the old structures at the base, before joining the line for the next ferry back to the terminal in San Francisco. Before long, our ferry arrived, and we boarded for the ride back to San Francisco. As we pulled away, we enjoyed some great views looking back at Alcatraz and the Golden Gate Bridge. And on the approach to the city, we caught more looks at the Holland America Coatings Dam as we returned to our dock. We met our tour guide back at the dock, who escorted us down the sidewalk to board our bus for the rest of the excursion. But that's for next time. Be sure to join us as we ride across the Golden Gate Bridge, stop at Vista Point for some amazing views, and spend time exploring Sausalito before returning to the ship for another tasty dinner and an evening of entertainment in the Piazza. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of this kind of content, like the video, share it with friends, and leave us a comment to let us know what you think. We invite you to join us on our website at findushere.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon. Meanwhile, check out this video next for more travel fun, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our new content. Your subscription is always free, helps us grow the channel, and is always greatly appreciated.